وعلى آله. Respected brothers and sisters, all praise belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has given us the opportunity to come to His house and who has given us this blessed day of Jummah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us the khair of this day, the barakah of this day. And we ask Allah to protect us from all types of evil. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Every Friday we remind ourselves about the virtues of this day. We remind ourselves about the actions that we should look into and find time to do them on this blessed day, because they hold a different value in the life of a believer. And this is why the Prophet ﷺ had given specific actions that a person should carry out on this blessed day of Jum'ah to maximize the benefit. One of the theme of this day of Jum'ah is providing us protection. Any type of action that is going to harm this individual, either physically or emotionally. This is why you see in the teachings of the Prophet ﷺ about protecting ourselves from su'. Rasulullah ﷺ said that al-jum'atu ila al-jum'ati kaffaratun lima baynahuma. That from one Jum'ah to the next Jum'ah, if a person is able to maintain himself spiritually, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives all the sins that have been committed. Similarly, if a person was to do ibadah on the day of Jum'ah, Allah will protect him till the next Friday. So this day of Jum'ah is a day which has been given to the believers to charge, to give them the strength so that you're able to continue for the next week. And for that strength, there are two things: the ability to do good action and the strength to stay away from evil. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billahi al-aliyyil azim. As we recite this, the meaning of this is there is no might to do a good action and no ability to stay away from a bad action except what comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So a person needs to develop good qualities inside and at the same time trying his best to stay away from the evil that will come in the future. Now there are two categories of evil. One is the evil that a person brings upon himself by his own action. You did wrong to someone, now you have to bear the consequences. You harmed someone, you have to bear the consequences. That's a type of evil. And another type of evil is that you have no contribution towards it, but it comes in such a way that it afflicts everybody, which in the terminology of Quran and Sunnah has been given as fitan, as trials. And this is what the Prophet ﷺ said, that either the evil that is committed by you or the fitan that was to come upon the ummah, upon the nation, upon the community, within that week, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protects that individual who has valued his day of Jum'ah. So this is why we find in some of the narrations that the Sahaba used to do an amal after Salatul Jum'ah by themselves, by reciting Surah Al-Fatiha, Ikhlas, Falaq and Nas 7 times. And Aisha radiallahu anha says, whoever recites after day of Jum'ah Al-Fatiha, Al-Ikhlas, Al-Falaq and Nas 7 times, Allah will protect him from any type of harm that will come to him until next Jum'ah, until next Friday. So that's an amal that has been given to us, that on the day of Jum'ah, as I mentioned, there are two things. Number one, the ability to stay away from evil, and giving us a strength, spiritual strength, that we are able to continue with our good action. So this day is a very precious day, and we have to value it as believers and trying to do whatever we can so that we are able to maintain our faith, get strength for our good action, and stay away from evil that is to come. And that cannot happen except with the assistance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So taking assistance through the ayat of Quran is the best way that a person can bring this protection in his life. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among those who are valuing these great actions make us among those who are doing the good actions, and we ask Allah to make us among those who have been forgiven on this blessed day of Jum'ah. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi, subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik, wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.